Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a very overcast and cold Moscow. Today, I'm actually here to film a few videos, so depending on when you're watching this one, it might be before or after another one you've seen, because there's a brand new shopping center that just opened behind me, and there's a couple of interesting shops in there that I want to show you. Now, the main one I want to show you in this video is a brand new supermarket. I know how much everyone loves them on the channel, and this thing is absolutely brand new, and I want to see what it's like and what they've got and how interesting it is. Before I go on inside, I just thought I'd show you briefly where I am. This is a brand new shopping center that literally just opened. So this is the newest shopping center in all of Russia. It's called Botanica Mall, and it's literally right next door to Botanechki Siad metro station, which is in the northeast of Moscow. They did also build an office tower right behind the shopping center, and they also have a hotel right here. This is a very beautiful part of Moscow. If you've been to this area before, there is some very nice parks. We're right on the edge of where Vdenhar is as well. And you can see off in the distance Ostankino, which is the big television tower in Moscow. There's also a lookout up there. But where we want to go is to see this brand new supermarket. Let's go and check it out together. Walking on inside the shopping center. It's got a really interesting layout. It's got this split level when you first walk in. And where we want to go is on the lower ground floor. If you're lost already, the lady will tell you how to find your favorite shop. And I think what I'll do just for a minute or two is walk on upstairs, just to give you a bit of a feeling of what the shopping center is like. And then we'll head on down to the supermarket. They've got a escalator here that heads on up to the main floor of the shopping center. So there is around about 100 shops in here once it's fully open and trading. There's around about 20 restaurants, and there will be a food court on the upper level as well. So for now, I would say it's around about 30% open. And being that this is a soft opening, nobody knows it's open. People who are coming in maybe wandered by, or they saw it on social media, and then they'll do an official opening maybe about 3 or 4 weeks from now. I think you can get a good idea of the size of the shopping center as we come through this walkway. Then you can really feel just how big it is and how grand it is. You can see the business center off in the background. So it's built over 3 levels. Very nice. And there's this perfume smell as I'm walking around. And what they've done is they've built air fresheners into the walls that spray periodically, and it makes the place smell really nice. I wonder if that's related to the botanica aspect, and that you can smell like roses or flowers. There is a L'Occitane there, who's not meant to be in Russia, but they're here in Russia. And then on the upper 3rd level, there is a series of shops and then a very large food court area as well. Before I get down to the entrance of the supermarket, if you are a long-time watcher of the channel, I think almost in every video, there is this floor cleaning guy that seems to follow me around. And there must be a whole series of them that call each other and say, be at this shopping center, and Russell will be there. So the supermarket's just off ahead of us here. There is a pet shop open already. And then a house store. Bed sheets, linen, everything like that. And then where we want to go is to see Perekrestok, the supermarket here on the left-hand side. We always know that it's a new place because of the balloons. This is the richest man in Russia, the man who sells all the balloons for grand opening of businesses. And Perekrestok is a very well-known chain of supermarkets in Russia. It translates into English as crossroads. And you can kind of see that on the symbol of the brand right there. And they have more than 1,000 of these across the whole country. It is part of a bigger chain of supermarkets from a company called X5 Group. And between all of the brands of their supermarkets, they've got more than 20,000 total supermarkets across the entire country. And this is their mid-price, family-orientated stores. Very friendly staff. I'm literally walking in for the first time, and they've got also a cafe. It seems to be a trending thing. Everywhere you go, there's a cafe in the shop or business. So these are your choices of shopping carts. You'd have to have got the plastic one if you wanted the full-size one, the one for kids. And just like this lady's grabbing, these smaller hand baskets are much more traditional, because where people perhaps catch public transport or they don't want to carry too many things too far. There is some nice cakes. Now, most of the Perekrestoks you go to have a cafe section built into them. Now, it'll depend on the location you go to, how big or small it is. So you can come in, have something to eat, relax. And then they've also got the ready-made food here. This is also very nice, by the way. I've had this many times before. There's just too many choices. Very much homemade style food. And people do buy this quite a lot in Russia. Of course, there's just traditional sandwiches and wraps. But you can get savories, desserts, soups, whatever you like. And the idea is that you pay for it, either take it home or you can sit and have it right here in the cafe. Just a couple of things I'll point out as I'm walking around. So I am here on a Monday afternoon, and I believe the shop opened on Saturday, unofficially. And of course it's open now. It doesn't really matter. This isn't officially opened according to the shopping center website. It's a soft opening. So even you'll see some of the staff still stocking the shop, putting things out, rearranging some of the layouts, because when they came to do it, it's maybe not right, or it didn't fit. And there is shoppers in here. There isn't many, being that it's in the middle of a working day in Moscow. People do go to work, people do go to school, do go to university, and people aren't shopping at lunchtime on a Monday, I think anywhere in the world, not just here in Russia. As I walk around, I'll try and point out a few things that I notice that might be different from perhaps supermarkets that I know from Australia or other countries where I've lived. And perhaps it's all the same and there's no difference. Now, the one thing which I do like a lot is these cafes and the fact that you can sit down and have something to eat. They've got very nice comfy chairs. They've also got hooks underneath for your handbag as well. Charging for your phone also. And I think this is always a nice thing to have. We need more of it in Australia. I won't focus on pricing as I'm walking around. I know a lot of people want me to do that and show you how insanely hype something is priced or how cheap something is priced. Little doggy walking by. And I really want to show you the uniqueness of Russian supermarkets, and also a brand new supermarket that is the newest one in the entire country, with this grab and go section right here. So where you want to grab some food, like the sushi or the soup or the ready meals, there's a self-checkout right here, so you can come and pay yourself. There's a microwave, utensils, and you just sit down. And it's all on your own merit that you do that. You can scan your store card at the same time for points. And they have a small kitchen here as well, where they've got sushi. I'd say they probably do that in the mornings, and they're not doing too much of it during the day, unless it's very popular. Pizza for $1 a slice, which I've had many times when I've been here before. And actually they're doing the dough right there for more pizzas. They need to put a few more out. So maybe by the time I finish the video, I might get a chance to have a slice of fresh pizza. Now the supermarket is rather big, so it's probably hard to get it all in one video. I will do my best, so please sit down and relax and enjoy this walk around with me. One thing I will say with the fruit and veg, when you come to Perekrestok, they've got every type that you possibly want, and regardless of if it's in season or out of season, you can get any fruit and vegetable. They've even got red and white strawberries there in heart containers. We've just passed Valentine's Day, and they've got kiwi fruit and different exotic fruits as well, which is always interesting. They've actually got the takeaway pizzas right here. There's some cakes as well. Drinks. The one thing they do very well in these stores is they pair a lot of the food with the drinks. So when you're looking at one item, you might buy something else at the same time, and you're inspired by seeing one thing and want something else. You'll see here also where they put some fruits and vegetables with this healthy section, all of the nuts and oils and things like that. So they do have a small in-store bakery, and they have some of the par-baked breads here that they would do behind. It's a little bit hard to see. You can actually see the ovens behind the glass showcases. And then pastries. So pretty much you just buy these for snacks. My very well-known spinach snail down there, which I've shown in other videos before. And not expensive at all, even for all the different choices of fresh breads. Pretty much everything is less than $1. There is two different formats of supermarkets that you get in Russia. These traditional medium-sized supermarkets like this, and then there is hypermarkets, which I've shown in videos of Ashan and Globus. And this is more of a smaller format supermarket, perhaps medium size, maybe the right way to explain it, I think. And they're putting a lot of emphasis on these healthy food options here. The nice wood shelving, these green colors on the signage. I really don't tend to shop in the healthy section. My wife loves it though. She's always thinking she's going to lose dramatic amounts of weight from buying a couple of things. But I think it's more about just generally healthy eating and exercise. Plenty of choices of gift packaging, snacks, teas, cookies, cakes. There is a never-ending amount of savory and sweet things here in these stores. Raffaello. And we do have Nutella in Russia. $5 for the medium one, $10 for the large one. And they've also got their own supermarket brand here as well. They do have some private label items in this store, not probably as many as some of the other stores around Russia. This is all pay by weight candy. So you just scoop as much or a little as you like. And there's the weighing scale there. This would be the alternative way to buy it. You can just get a traditional bag of something So you can find your favorite one and be happy. Or if you just want to get a few and you don't want to get whatever size it tells you, you just put it on there, you weigh it, put the number in, and you get the sticker, and you do it yourself. Simple. So this is a brand new supermarket. Let me point that out. Again, I think everybody knows that. Indonesian candy right there, by the way. And then Bounty right there, Mars, Milky Way, Picnic. So all these brands that are not in Russia are here on the shelves. More than enough choices. Skittles, not had them for ages. This is my problem when I come to Perekrestok. There's too many choices of certain categories of food. I mean, is there any need for 100 choices of chocolate bar? I mean, really, you can get one from every brand and every country you like, and as much or as little cocoa in it as you want. Venezuela chocolate. That's really interesting. Every possible type of Milka. So we'll try and walk past a few areas, but it's very hard to do that when you come into a shop this size with the amount of choices, because you want to show everything on the video, of course, and you want to try to give everybody, particularly who are watching, that feeling that you're in the store and what's on the shelves. Now, being that this is a brand new store, I mean, I will admit that, of course, the shop is full. There is not too many shoppers in here, but it is Monday afternoon. I don't expect really anybody in here at all. Ice cream. This BR and Ice is, or was, Baskin and Robbins. And yesterday when I was in Moscow, I walked past the factory where this is produced in Moscow, and they actually have their own factory shop. And this is Montera, which I think was Movenpick before, if anybody remembers. So all of the brands still exist, just with a slightly different name or spelling of the items. The children's section on the right hand side, and then all of the breakfast cereals. One thing you'll find in Russian supermarkets, there isn't that whole aisle of boxed cereals, and most of it tends to be porridges and oats, which is a very much normal traditional breakfast cereal, and you only end up with 1 or 2 cereals, and that's it, done. And then Tony the Tiger isn't quite on the box right there. Maybe that's his cousin. Long Life Milk. And I think everybody knows all the children's baby formulas. Nestle, more than well known in Russia. Long Life Milk. Every time I come shopping, I get the wrong percentage of fat content on the milk. I always need to keep photos on my phone so I remember which one is correct. Around to the milk and yogurt. So a classic bottle of milk, less than $1 right there. 90 rubles. So an easy way to judge the exchange rate, 100 rubles would be $1. So any price you see less than 100 rubles, you know it's under $1. If that makes sense. I think it does. So there's the coffee and tea aisle here. So lots of choices. DeLonghi, I think people know from the coffee machines. And you have, even for a small supermarket, at least 50 choices of tea. The different brands, of course, different types, different flavors. I bought these for friends for Christmas. These gift packs, they're really nice to give for gifts to your friends. Then all of the coffee. So there's beans, and then there's the ground coffee. And I think most people perhaps know some of the brand names and types. Now, you can go to other supermarkets, actually even from the same owner of Perekrestok. So they've got a couple of other chains that they operate, if you've seen videos on my channel. And you can get things cheaper in other stores. You can definitely shop around. They do have promotions and specials. So you'll see even here, breakfast blend coffee. This week with your shopping card, almost half price. So you can find the promotional stuff. Nescafe there, $5 or $6 a jar. So it's just a matter of finding what you want, either buying it in this shop because this is where you've come shopping, or go to your local store. Freezer section. Whole side here of ice creams. And we come around to the more classic food. Pasta on one side. And then all of the different things like oils and sauces. Perekrestok is well known for having a more interesting assortment, full range of things, and even quite a few different imported items along with domestic items as well. More than enough choices of pasta sauce. Definitely more than enough. And we come around to the other dairy fridges. And the one thing that's important with this store, literally every person in Russia knows this brand. And where you might live locally, it's a bonus that this is opened here. Probably not necessarily people will come and drive here to come shopping at this supermarket. People will come to the shopping center and then perhaps buy something that they need or want. Just having a look at all these different salamis. Because I went to the couple of different factory shops recently, it was interesting now for me to have a look at them in the supermarkets. Eggs, plenty of choices. Where are their price tickets? That's my biggest pet peeve, when there's no price tickets on them. Just about $1 or $1.50 for a box of eggs. So I just had to cut off the last little part there. So the gentleman that was just briefly walking by me, he is one of my subscribers, and he just wanted to thank me for the videos. So yeah, thank you. If you see me in the shops, stop me. And it's so nice that I'm in a brand new shop and a subscriber just happens to walk in the same aisle as I do. The one thing I like a lot about Russian supermarkets, of course, there's a wide selection of things, far bigger than what I can buy in an Australian supermarket. And then they also have a very wide price point as well. So there is very everyday pricing on some products, and then of course they've got premium brands, imported brands, and no matter who comes shopping, you can find something within your budget, and it's possible to, afford food. You could choose to go to another supermarket 5 minutes walk from here where things would be a little bit cheaper. You can go to one that's 20 minutes away that's even more expensive. Now I'm curious about all these hams. I go to a couple of factory shops and now I'm just fascinated by them. And all of the brands start to make sense once you see them in their individual shops. Say cheese. They've got a little cheese gift set just there, which is really nice. So more dairy around the back here. They've got the glass closing doors as well, which is good for energy use, not the open door fridges. I think a lot of Russians who perhaps have not traveled outside of Russia maybe don't realize how nice and full the supermarkets are in Russia, and then the choices of products and how many there are, until you go to another country or another city and then realize how limited of a choice you've got. We can buy butter in Russia. Actually, I should have mentioned that we can buy eggs as well. I almost feel bad when I say that, because my mum was telling me in Australia at the moment some challenges with eggs due to some of the different illnesses. And then we've got all of the counters here where you can get all of the cheeses and hams by weight. So what they do, they can cut blocks to different sizes for you, or you can just choose something already cut. And have a look how convenient they put the olives next to the cheese. They've got all the different gift sets. And this is the bigger bulk hams where, again, they can measure out what you want. And this is the other thing too that a lot of people in Russia do, is they're shopping only for 1 or 2 days. So you're not shopping for one whole week. You're just buying for the next day or two, and that's it. Then you'll come shopping again in 2 days' time and find something. Plenty of choices of meats. Now, very traditionally in Russia, a lot of people will go to butcher shops, and it's probably not as popular to buy meats in supermarkets than it is to actually go to a separate butcher store in a food market. But you've got choices here. The pork is very nice, I've had it before. Even have fresh fish, salmon, and there's the smoked fish as well, and pickled fish. Is that the right word? Even got a little planogram up there to tell you which one. There's a Asian section here. When I worked in supermarkets in Australia, depending on the different supermarket that I worked at, I was doing the merchandising and the store layouts, and different shops had more or less Asian foods depending on the suburbs where the shop was. And the particular one that I worked at on a weekly basis had a very large Asian community that lived immediately by the shops. And we expanded the choices in that store because of how much Asian products that we sold. And you might go to the one where, like, for instance, my parents lived, and we had a lot less choices. Got some instant noodles, very famous dosarak, the meal when you don't want to cook. You just put some boiling water in it and lunch or dinner is ready. As I'm walking around, I didn't realize how big this shop is and how far it goes back. Because it's in the lower ground floor of the shopping center, you lose a little bit of perspective of how big it is and how much they have in here. And I've been calling this a medium-sized supermarket, and this is still not a hypermarket. This is just a everyday supermarket. Here is some of the packaged bread that would come from local bakeries. So you'll see here 50 cents a loaf, 20 cents a loaf. And also, of course, some of the bread is in smaller packaging, but there isn't really anything over $1 if you compare all the choices of breads. There's also lavash down there as well. So yeah, there's too many choices. Plastic straws, they're here, and plastic plates as well. And then we come around eventually to the drink section. The never-ending aisles of water. My wife almost chooses a different one every time we come to the shop. I know the one that we have at home is Pine Forest. or cone forest. And this one down on the bottom shelf there. There is too many choices of water for me. So we come around now to the cleaning section right here. And then there's also some pet food. Let's walk around perhaps a little bit faster. I think everybody enjoys these longer videos based on comments and feedback and looking at statistics. Arizona iced tea. Ever been to Mexico before? Jumex is very well known. And then I have talked about the different colas in Russia, and Dobra Cola is the one that's took over from Coca-Cola, but they also do juices as well. And so quite a few other brands if you didn't want the well-known one. Energy drinks. So the large Red Bull is $2. And there's every other brand that you want on the shelves there. Let's have a look which drinks they have. So a mixture of domestic and some imported brands. Pepsi there is from Belarus. I think the Coca-Cola is from Kazakhstan or maybe Georgia. And then they've actually got 4 different types of Coca-Cola, even then when we're not meant to have any Coca-Cola in Russia. It's really interesting and an easy way to figure out if things are imported. So if you have a look here at this Pellegrino, this white label here is the label that's put on a foreign product because it's not produced for the Russian market. So this would be the label with the Russian ingredients list. And you can see that on products as you look around the shop, and where people know that things are imported. They're quite clearly on the back of the label. They always have also the importer on them, and it also will tell you where it was produced. So it's definitely known where something has come from or how it's got to Russia. Chips. And then we come around to the beer section. So if you've not watched other shopping videos that I've done before, beer in Russia is sold individually, so by the bottle or can, and you have more than enough choices. So both domestic and imported beers. I'd say it's probably about 60% imported and 40% domestic. And then some of the Western brands have distilleries in Russia that produce them locally as well. Budweiser down there, only $1 a bottle. Most beer, or especially the classic beers, you're looking about $1 a can or a bottle. And then quite a few of these are small batch breweries or boutique beer companies. So you're going to pay $2 or $3 a bottle. They do actually have a chilled fridge with cold drinks, so you can get a cold Corona if you like. Actually my lemon lime drink right there. We'll also notice the change in the flooring and then the lighting and the paneling in this alcohol section. So there is some ciders and these low proof wine drinks. And because the shop's just open, I would say they haven't got the final approval to do the hard alcohol or spirits. So this is very normal when they open supermarkets like this. Probably another week or two and they'll have that to be able to put it out. And you got the registers. So they do actually have the traditional registers. Now, being that it's the middle of the day, not too many are open. Everybody's paying at the same time, of course. And then there is the self-checkouts. Then for the self-checkout, they've even got a tobacco section, which someone have to help you, of course. If you want to do self-checkout, you can still grab cigarettes. And then even at the checkouts, they've got some grab-and-go items, probably their weekly specials at the same time. And then you just basically pay and leave. And there's also self-serve coffee. So you can get coffee for $1 or $1.60 is the large one, depending on the size you want. And this is all help yourself. So you just do it yourself, pay at the register, and you're good. I didn't quite walk around the fruit and vegetables when I walked in. Very big, wide section when you first come in the store here. I didn't notice it too much. So one thing that's, I think, very different here is you can get all of these out-of-season fruits and vegetables no matter the time of year. The big difference, though, is you'll pay, obviously, a premium because they're out of season. But if you really want something and crave something, no problems at all. So yeah, this is Perekrestok, Russia's newest supermarket. And depending on when you're watching this, perhaps check the date of when it was uploaded. But this is the absolute newest one in the entire country. And this is what you get in a Russian typical supermarket. And I hope you managed to find something. I'm gonna head on over and get a slice of pizza. So as I come to the end of the video and my walk around of Perekrestok, Russia's newest supermarket, actually in Russia's newest shopping center. Now, of course, this chain of supermarkets has been around for a lot of years. It's well known by every single person in Russia, no matter where you live in the country. I did just notice there's 5 rubles on the table, and I was thinking, wow, I'm having good luck today. So I actually got myself 2 slices of pizza, 99 rubles each, so pretty much $1 a slice. Tax is included in all prices in Russia, so it's built into the price of something, so it's not the price plus tax like it would be in America. So 198 rubles for 2 slices of pepperoni pizza. I've had this hundreds of times, so I know already. And then along with my 5 rubles of good luck, the lady at the coffee shop just gave me a slice of apple cake. And like a pastry apple cake. So my luck is, I'm not sure. So the lady was at the very beginning when I walked in, and she just came over to me now and offered me a slice of cake. Obviously the shop is opening as well, so maybe it's part of their promotion when the shop opens, generally when you buy coffee. So yeah, this is not about tasting pizza. However, I think for $1 a slice, it's very, very good. The only bad news for me is I don't have a Perekrestok where I live. The nearest one is at least 20 minutes away in another town. And I can't just come to these on a daily basis because the town I live in doesn't have this particular chain of stores. I'm going to change this, try this cake now. So yeah, apple cake, apple pastry cake. Thank you so much. I'm going to have to mention to the lady my YouTube channel so she can see this part of the video. Thanks everybody for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Post a comment, let me know how this shop looks compared to where you live. How does your local supermarket look today or yesterday, maybe when you went shopping, compared to this? And it'd be interesting to read everybody's comments. I'm sure a lot of people who are from Russia know this chain of stores. And of course, in my playlists, I've got every category of Russian supermarket covered. No matter your budget, there is a shop for everybody. So I think, you know, this is a little bit of a longer video, but if you've made it to the end, I think we need to get a cake emoji in the comments, and also a thank you to the lady for bringing it over here. One more bite. Apple cake and pizza. It's like a sweet and savory thing at the same time. By the way, I've had banana pizza before. Has anybody had banana pizza? Very, very delicious. yeah, if you want to follow me on Telegram, there's a link right here. I'm not sure which side I'll put it. And then there'll be a link to another video. So if you want to see another X5 group shop, which is from the same owners as Perekrestok, that video will come up for you right now. And you can keep traveling with Russell. Okay, everybody, off on another adventure. Bye.